It's like I don't care about nothing, man. Yeah. Oh,
So this video is going to be on Centroid and Incenter. So for each of them, there are two things you're going to need to know. So we are going to go over those, and then you will have all 3 points of concurrency that you need to know for your test. All right. So the first one I'm going to look at, I'm actually going to look at Incenter first on page 8. So there's 2 things you need to know about it. First is that it's created by angle bisectors. Now the picture already shows this. So every angle got cut in half. So that's what an angle bisector means. So bisector again means cut in half. So that's what we did to every angle. Now the other thing you need to know is that it's equidistant from each side. Equidistant from each side. So from this here, which is the incenter, from here to each of the sides, these little lines here, they all are congruent. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dash on each of them. So the last thing to know is the incenter is always inside. So before, when we had the circumcenter, depending on the triangle, decided if it was inside, outside, or on it. This one for incenter is always going to be inside. So now let's look at the practice problem and see which one of those is going to be helpful. It says given that S is the incenter of triangle MNP, find angle MPN. Show all your work. So if I'm trying to find an angle, chances are what's going to help me is the fact that it's created by angle bisectors. So each angle got cut in half. Now, we got to make sure we pay attention to what angle we're trying to find. They say angle MPN. The letter that matters to us is the P, the middle letter. Because when we're trying to find it, the angle from MPN is this angle right here. We're trying to find the full angle. We're not trying to find it when it got cut in half. We're trying to find the full angle. So we're going to see what numbers they already have in there to help us. So, for instance, M, if this side's 31 degrees, so is this side. Because if it's a bisector, it got cut in half. So if this side's 31, so is this side. Up top, we have 28 degrees here. So if it's 28 degrees on this half, this side is also 28 degrees because the angles all got cut in half. So if one portion is a number, so is the other side. Now, you'll notice that it has an 8 and a 10 written in here. The 8 and the 10 is what we call in the math biz. See, real cool, talking the lingo.
I'm with it. I'm hip.
So, the 10 and the 8 are what we call distractors. But we're not going to get distracted, so I went ahead and just scribbled over them so we don't get distracted by them. Now, we're going to use triangle sum to help us find this last angle, angle P, the one that we want. Because all angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So for instance, first, angle M. I want the full angle, so I'm going to do 31 plus 31, which is 62. So angle M is 62 degrees. Angle N will be 28 plus 28. which is 56 degrees. So now I'm going to add those together, 62 plus 56. That gives me 118. Well, now I'm going to do 180 minus 118, and voila, the angle I'm searching for must be 62 degrees. And I just noticed that you couldn't see the last part, but when you subtracted them, it was 62 degrees. Okay, now centroid. Centroid is created by medians. So whenever you're dealing with these, all the sides of the triangle will be cut in half, because a median is meaning in the middle. Now, something that we call these, a centroid can also be called the center of gravity. The reason we call that, or can call it that, is because it's where the balancing point is. It's where if you go put something on that point, it's going to balance. It's not going to tip over. So the thing that we need to know for this is from the vertex to the centroid. So if you don't remember what a vertex is, that means an angle. So from the vertex to the centroid is 2/3 of the length. So for instance, from the vertex to the centroid, this part would be 2/3. The rest of this line would be 1/3. So basically, this portion is going to be the smaller one, and this part is twice as big as this. So this would be half as big as that side. And it's going to be always inside the triangle for this one, just like how it was for Incenter. Okay, last problem we're doing in this video. It says Gretel is creating a logo for her company. She started her design as shown below. IR, US, and OB are all medians of the triangle BRS, and T is the centroid. IR is 12, BT is 6, and UT is 1 inch. Now, anytime you're dealing with the medians, I'm going to tell you to draw all these lines outside to make it easier to see. So for instance, the first one is from B to O. Now, when I do this, you're going to notice I'm going to make a big portion, name it BT, because from B to the centroid is the bigger portion, the 2/3 part. The smaller portion is from T to O. So this is what like the first one could look like. The next one I'm going to choose is from R to I. So from R, T, and T to I. Then the last one, U to T. Oh, sorry. The big portion is from S to T. So I'm going to put an S, T, and then we have from T to U. Okay, I have redrawn them all. So now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the info they told us. So from I to R is 12 inches. So from I to R, so that's the full length. So I'm putting this little bracket here to let me know I'm talking about the full length. The full length is 12. From B to T is 6. So I'm getting all this information up here. And UT is 1. Okay. Before I start finding all these, I'm going to go ahead and fill out all my blank ones that I'm missing, because that's going to help me. So from B to T is 6. That's the big portion. TO should be half as big. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So TO is 3. RI, we were given the full length. So what I like to do, I like to find the smaller portion because each line is broken up into thirds. So this part's 2/3, this one's 1/3. So if I did 12 divided by 3, I would get 4. So that gives me, by dividing by 3, I get the small portion. So this portion will be 4. This one has to be twice as big. So this portion is 8. And if you notice, if I add them together, it in fact equals 12. Now ST will be twice as big as a small portion, so this one will be 2. So now let's go ahead and fill out everything up top. RT, from R to T is 8. Now they told us we're dealing with inches, so I'm going to put inches with it. TI is 4. OB, that's the full length, so 6 plus 3 is 9. And US is the full length, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is how you would do this specific problem. So that's the end of this video. Now for centroid, you have the center of gravity. You need to basically just make sure you know that each of the sides get cut up into thirds. So from the vertex to the centroid, that's 2/3. The rest of the way is 1/3. Now in center, you need to know that it's created by an angle bisector. You also got to know that it's the same distance from the incenter to each of the sides. So those are the two main things for that one that you would need to know for different types of problems. So I hope you enjoyed.